And so today I thought we would work with the rib cage and breathing and um, shoulders, head, and neck. But we're also going to do something for the hips too today. I'm hoping if we can get through all that today.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, so you need a bolster, the spinal strip, the purple ball, the band, and a blanket. So, all that stuff. And I'm going to mute everyone, but I'll be muting myself probably. You can unmute anytime. And yeah, so if you don't hear from me, it's because something's happening and I'll come on as soon as I can. But we'll just go from here and see what happens. And so just start with connecting to your breath, finding that place that is comfortable for you, wherever it is that you would like to be, whether you start in seated or laying down or whatever. And just begin to bring your awareness into your breath. Gently breathing in, gently breathing out. And settling into this time and space. Not thinking of anything in the past and not worrying about anything that is to come or thinking about anything that is to come. And just continue to bring your awareness back to your breath, to this present moment, anytime your mind wanders. So that with each breath, you can come into quiet and calm for your mind. And bring awareness to all of the points in contact with the surfaces beneath you. Beginning at the top of the head, moving down through the spine to the feet. Slowly, just noticing how your body feels today. Noticing areas of tension, ease, spaciousness, discomfort, pain, anything. Might even be emotion or other sensations. And just notice what you notice without attaching judgment to anything, positive or negative. Being the observer. And with every exhalation, just allowing the body to become heavier, to melt down. To let go a little bit more each time. Remembering that anytime the mind wanders, just come back to your breath. Letting the thoughts go. And bring awareness to your breath now. Just noticing the breath as it comes in and as it leaves. And bring awareness to where your breath is and where it is in the body. Notice if you can, if it's more in the lower, in the middle, or the upper. Just bringing awareness in, not changing anything. And then if it's comfortable, bringing the hands to rest on the belly, the lower belly, beneath the belly button. And as you breathe in, bring your awareness and breath into the belly. The belly rises with the breath in. Maybe the fingertips move apart. As you exhale, feel the belly soften. This is not a forced muscular breath using your intention to move the muscles, the tissue of this area. This is let the breath come in as deeply as it feels comfortable for you. And notice the response in the belly. Maybe there's a little, maybe there's a lot, maybe there's none. Just continue to bring your awareness in to the breath into this area. Remembering that at any time you can come back to your natural breath, but try to come back to this breath practice. At the end of your next exhalation, moving the hands to rest on the rib cage, middle of the rib cage. And as you breathe in, feel the breath come into this area where the hands are. Feel the rib cage expand as a balloon in all directions with the breath in, and feel the softening with the breath out. So imagining this balloon, this rib cage expands in all directions as you breathe in. Notice the sensation under the hands and feel the rib cage, the balloon soften on the exhale. Keeping this gentle and easy. Continue to bring your awareness in to the breath here at the rib cage. And then at the end of your next exhalation, bringing the hands to rest at the top of the rib cage at the collarbones. And you can let the elbows rest wherever if that's comfortable. They don't have to be close to each other. Your fingertips somewhere at the top of the chest. And now as you breathe in, bring in the breath. Feel it come up through the belly and then the rib cage and then the top of the chest. Exhale from the top of the chest, the collarbones, down through the rib cage, down to the belly. This is a 3-part yogic breath. It's called the Durga breath or complete breath. So just do your best to follow that breath in each of those 3 areas as you inhale and as you exhale. Inhale, belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. Just following this as best as you can. And even if the breath isn't in one area or not in the sequence, just continue to bring your awareness in and your intention in. Eventually the breath will follow. I'm staying here for a few more breaths, continuing with the sequence of the breath. And then at the end of your next exhalation, just letting the hands go, let the breath go, come back to your natural breath, and just notice what you notice in your body. And then just gently bring in a little bit of movement, maybe deepening the breath. And then just making your way up to seated. Okay, we're going to start with the spinal strip and have your band handy. Okay, so we're going to go to, you could do double or single, and it's going to be above, under the upper body. This is my, okay, so single or double. I haven't done this for a while, I don't think, have we? Or unless you guys have done this at home. I have a feeling this is not going to feel very good for me. I haven't done this for a while. So you're going to have this double or single right at the kind of across from the chest, middle of the back. And you're going to come onto your back. Knees are going to be bent. Have your band handy, ready to go. So the ends of the strip are about the middle of the body. Right? So if you think about center of the chest in the front, that's where it is in the back. Right? All right. So I'm going to have that right underneath. Right? So the edges are at the back, in the center of my back. And have the band close by. And then you're just going to settle here for a moment, right? Arms can be out to the side, or you can have them on the rib cage, wherever is okay for you. And just follow your breath here. So just notice if you're holding any tension anywhere in the upper body, head, neck, shoulders. and continue to try to just let that go. So after about 5 or 6 breaths or so, if you don't feel like everything is kind of softening or letting go, you're going to go down to one single strip. Single, and then just try that. Arms can be out to the side. And you're just going to breathe here. So keeping your knees bent, we're going to just start with a little bit of lower body to work with the upper. So knees are bent. And you're going to take a breath in. Exhale, drop the knees over to the right or to one side. And the upper body is going to shift a little bit. Don't brace with the arms or shoulders. Just let it kind of flow to whatever feels okay for you. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. You're just going gently side to side. You might really feel this in your sacrum or your back. So you're on your own breath. Inhale to center, exhale over. And you're letting your head and neck just be relaxed here. So try not to hold your head in that one position on the band. Okay? Just let it follow the spine, follow the pelvis and the hips. So it is going to move, shift a little bit on your strip. That's okay. Right? Breathe. Let's just do one more per side. Come back to center and take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the right knee towards the belly and then just squeeze that towards the belly. Inhale away, exhale, other knee towards the belly. Inhale and exhale, alternating knees to the belly. And then one more on each side. And then let that go. And then you're going to grab your band, bring it into the hands. Okay, so now I'm at like about shoulder width apart with the band. You can wrap it around your hands if you want to, because we are going to be stretching it. And you can decide how much or how little you want. Maybe it feels better for you to have the hands a bit wider to start with, wider than shoulder width apart. So you're going to decide how wide and how far apart you want this. I'm going to take a breath in. As you exhale, I want you to drop the shoulders towards the floor. So you're not engaging and lifting the arms and fingertips to the ceiling. You're letting them be down and relaxed and heavy. Maybe they touch the floor, maybe they don't. Maybe you can feel the shoulder blades kind of scoop around the spinal strip or whatever's underneath you, rolled yoga mat or whatever. And you're just going to be in that relaxed, heaviest place. Elbows are going to not bend. Elbows are going to stay straight. Shoulder blades drop down. You're going to inhale and gently pull the band apart as if you want to reach the hands to the left and to the right towards the floor. They don't have to touch the floor. Exhale back up the center. So now when you focus on the exhaling back up, I don't want you to let the reach happen. So you're not reaching back up towards the ceiling. You're just letting the arms come back towards each other. Shoulder blades are still heavy towards the floor. So this is a lot of tricep, bicep kind of work, but with the arm bones in the shoulder joints in their most neutral place. So we're not activating them in a different way. I'm trying to just keep them relaxed. Inhale to open, exhale to bring them together. And they might not come together. If you lose the tension in the band, that's okay. See if you could keep the tension in the band. Open. Slowly, slowly, slowly let that come together towards each other. Right? So you might start to feel a little bit of shaking happening in the arms. That's okay. Try to keep your elbows straight, not bent. Stay connected to your breath. The next time that the arms come up, just let that relax. So let that go and let the band go, and just notice what you notice in the back of the shoulder blades. If anything's different or shifted. And if you need to come off this or switch it up, you can do that too. So if 2 is too much and you're feeling that at your spine, you're going to need to shift it up. Okay, so knees are bent. You're going to drop the knees to the right to whatever is comfortable for you. And you might need to put something underneath the outside of that right knee to kind of hold your legs up without you holding them up, right? Just to support underneath. If you have something that's handy, that's a good idea. So that you can just let your bottom leg and top leg relax. So with the legs to the right, come back with the arms. So knees are bent, drop to the right, support it if you can. Arms come back up to the band, and you're going to relax the shoulder blades towards the floor again, okay? So we're doing the same things, just knees are dropped and they stay dropped. Inhale, open the arms. Maybe you touch the floor, maybe not. You're always going to go to the range that feels okay for you. Exhale, back up. Inhale to open. Exhale to bring the hands towards each other. Trying to keep tension in the band if you can. Take a break anytime you need to take a break. You might really start noticing shaking in the upper arms and around the shoulder joint. Maybe even in the forearms. A little bit of a quivering that might be happening. That's okay. Never moving into pain. And we'll do one more. Controlled and slow. Breathe in. Controlled and slow. Breathe out. Hold the arms at center. Just relax the band. Bring the knees up. Switch to the other side. So knees drop to the left or whatever direction you're going, opposite direction. You might want something underneath the outside of the left thigh. And just take a moment here to notice how that's different than it was on the first side. So back to the hands and the arms. Band is in the hands. Relax the shoulder blades to the floor. Inhale to open. The arms, stretch the band. Slow and controlled exhale to bring the band towards each other, the hands towards each other. Keeping tension if you can. Elbows straight. Soft head and neck. Inhale, open. Exhale to drop, or exhale to close. Try to relax your right leg, the top leg. Notice if there's tension in that leg. See if you can relax it. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. One more. Inhale to open. Exhale. Close. Okay, bring the knees back to center. This time you're going to, and adjust if you need to adjust. This time you're going to stretch the band open to whatever feels okay for you. Might be a little bit, might be a lot, but you're going to keep the elbows straight. So we're in this big V, kind of V position. Inhale, arms are going to come towards your forehead. Maybe they go over the head. You're still keeping that pull on the band. Exhale to come back all the way around to the belly, maybe towards the floor. Inhale to open. So you're keeping that tension on the band as you're doing this range of motion around this kind of this arc from the belly all the way over towards the forehead. If you don't go overhead, that's fine. You don't have to. I want you to stay in that range that feels like you can still work, but not be going into pain. There's a lot happening here. Breathe in and exhale. And just one more time. Inhale to open and go overhead, towards overhead. Exhale, come all the way back. And let that go. Let the band go. And you're going to gently come off of your spinal strip and come back onto your back. And just notice how that feels. Wow. Might feel like your head is sinking beneath the floor. Or that you have a lot of a different connection, head, neck, shoulders, shoulder blades. And then just bring a little bit of movement in. Maybe it's the knees come to the chest together one at a time. Maybe it's a twist or some rocking or something. Just notice how that feels. And then come on up to seated. And then just take a moment in seated and notice how your spine feels. What you notice, right, from the base of the spine all the way up to the back of the head. Yeah, yay, good. Oh, awesome. Okay, we're going to keep going with, so that's like this upper part that we worked with, especially this this section of our spine. We're going to work with now the mid part, middle spine, and we're going to grab the bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, I think everybody does, but if you don't have one, you can use a rolled up, Marlene, do you have one? Yeah, okay. You can use a rolled up blanket too if you need, and you might need the blanket anyway for underneath your head. So here you're going to be, so I have the bolster going across my space and we're going to lay over top of it. So bolster is going to come, my rib cage is going to come right on the middle of the bolster. So rib cage is on it. So you can think about, so I'm not under my armpit, right? So the bolster isn't way up to here. It's kind of in line with the chest. And then you're going to probably need something for underneath your head. Bottom arm is going to come out in front, and your top arm can be wherever feels okay for you. Now, the important thing here, if you like watch my head, this I don't want to happen. So I want you to try to find that amount of support underneath your head and neck that lets your head and neck and this upper spine be straight, parallel to the floor, as best as you can, right? There might be a little bit of a tip, but I want you to have it so that your neck and your head can be completely relaxed. If you feel tension in your neck, you might need a little bit more support. So maybe that's adding something else, a ball, or see how it goes. So set yourself up so that you're in a comfortable place here. You're fine. No. Hey, come here. Lie down. Sorry. Okay, so you're here. Top arm, bottom arm is just relaxed. Down. Top arm is going to sit on your hip. And we're going to start with some arm kind of movements like this. So sweeping the arm up on the inhale and exhale to bring the hand back to the hip. Right? So go in the range that feels okay for you. So it might be that it doesn't want to go all the way over. It might be that it your arm just doesn't want to do that. So go to the range where you feel like it's okay for you, and then exhale. So it's all about what is available for you right now today, and it might be different in another time. The other thing you can play with is if being right in line with the body. So if being like right over, like in line, isn't working, try bringing it a little bit more forward. So maybe a little bit more forward feels like that's available for you. And then you work towards the coming in line with the body, right overhead. Okay, so palm is facing my hip towards the floor. Inhale to open. And exhale. So it's one sweeping breath. Then what you might want to try is on the inhale to hold it there, wherever it is that feels okay for you. You're going to feel some work in the arm, and take 1 or 2 breaths here. And then exhale back. So you can play around with that, right? So you don't have to keep moving. You can just hold it and breathe and see how that feels. The next time that the hand is back at the hip, you're going to turn the palm upward. So the palm is going to now face up towards the ceiling. It's going to feel different, and different things are going to be working in the arm. Inhale up, exhale back down. Now, as you're breathing, I want you to focus on the breath in the rib cage. So feel the breath into the rib cage as you inhale and as you exhale, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Yeah. Okay. And then let that relax. So wherever the arm wants to be, might be behind your back, feels like the most relaxed place for the arm to go. Or it might be in front on the bolster, or it might be on the floor, could be just on your side. So see what feels good for you. Okay, still on the same side. Arm's going to come straight up to the ceiling, and my palm is facing the direction I'm looking at. Okay, so my arm is straight up. Fingertips are pointing to the ceiling. We're going to do some rotation here. So internally rotate from here, but I'm not reaching up to the ceiling. I'm letting my arm bone stay in the shoulder joint. Rotation internal and then external. So I'm rotating like this, but my arm is going to be straight. You can't see my palm, but the whole arm is rotating, and you're doing that from this part here. Trying to think about not reaching the arm out of the shoulder, but letting it be sunken down into the shoulder joint and rotate. Okay. If you're feeling like this is enough on the bolster, you can come out of it anytime, right? Because it's asking a lot of the rib cage and the side body. So if you have a lot of tension there, or if you're not breathing, or if you sit a lot, or if you're stressed, it might feel like you've had enough. So remember, anytime you can come out of it. All right, so one more rotation, internal, breathe, external, and then let the arm rest. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to come off of this. Come onto your back. And just notice what you notice side to side. So you might feel really crooked. You might feel like one side is completely different than the other side. Right from the upper body down to the hips and the legs too. You might notice that. Legs can be extended or knees bent. So when we work with the rib cage, it shifts a lot in the upper body and the lower body. So shoulders, neck, head, arms, and hips, pelvis, legs are really can really be changed. So come on up to seated for a second. And then again, just sitting and notice what you notice side to side. You might even notice more connection into that sitting bone and butt and hip. Do you have a question, Annie? No? Yeah. Can you unmute? I can't hear you. And I can't can you unmute, Annie? No? Are you good? You okay? We still can't hear you. Okay. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to change it. Hopefully we can figure that out. I can't unmute people. That's me in technology. So I'm probably either missing something or I'm not. I don't know. I hope you're doing okay. I think you are. We're gonna go to the other side. That's the thing about this muting. I'm hoping that when I get my space all finished, it's gonna be quieter and I won't have to mute people unless they have a loud background. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. All right, so we're on the other side and you're gonna make sure that you're supported, you're comfortable, middle of the rib cage on the bolster or on the rolled up, whatever it is. You've got blanket underneath the head. So, and or some other support. So you might need more on this side because we release the other side and it's going to feel different. Might feel worse on this side. Okay, so the other piece that's important, which I didn't say on the first side, but is there's not a roll of the upper body forward or back, right? So I'm trying to keep my whole body perpendicular to the floor, like I'm making this T kind of position. So my shoulders are stacked right over top of each other. My hips are stacked over top of each other. So they're not rolled with the pelvis forward or back. Not horrible if that happens, just notice. Top arm is on top of your hip, bottom arm is stretched out or bent or whatever in front of you. Palm faces the hip, inhale up. And exhale back to the hip. So notice on this side if you have a different range of motion. Maybe it feels like you can go further on this side. Maybe there is something that is stopping you and it's all fine. Just notice the difference. Inhale, open. Exhale to close. And then inhale, keep going. Remembering too that you can stop and just keep the arm extended and do a couple of breaths as you focus on this piece. The breath coming into the rib cage. Let the hips relax. Let the body still kind of melt onto this bolster, right? So we're really working in a really gentle or passive kind of way, the rib cage. Using the breath, using the arms, using intention, using the movement. Inhale to open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale. Okay, palm faces up. On the next time that you reach overhead, and notice how that feels different. Palm is facing up towards the ceiling. as you inhale and as you exhale. And remember, you can always come forward. Doesn't have to be straight in line with the body. Arm can be more forward if that's what you need to do. So just figure out what is happening. So it's interesting. Inhale to open, exhale to close. You're gonna maybe feel this in the arms later. You might or you might not. There's a lot happening in that, the tissue around the upper arm and into the shoulder joint. Breathe. See if you can breathe through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose, coming back to center. My palm is facing the direction I'm looking at, but it doesn't matter. You're going to rotate. And I'm not reaching the arm up and out. I'm letting it stay dropped into the shoulder joint. So rotating from this place. Elbows staying straight. Notice when the arm starts to reach up towards the ceiling. You're going to try to keep it so that it's relaxed in the shoulder joint. Breathe. So we're letting the tissue and the muscles at the upper arm, around the shoulder blade, into the upper back, into the front of the shoulder, into the chest, into the side, are all supporting this movement. And if you have a bit of limitation, that's fine. Just be aware of it. And we just keep working gently with what's available, what's happening. And over time, things change. Breathe. All right. And then let the arm come down. Come off the bolster. You're going to come onto your back for a moment and have your purple ball handy. No, that's not for you. This black dog, she's eaten 2 of these balls. She loves them. It's too expensive of a dog toy for her. I'm surprised she's not all over it right now, but anyway. Okay, so just notice now, right to left and the whole body. Maybe you want to stretch out. You might feel really, really a lot flatter or heavier or more spacious. Okay, grab your purple ball. So hopefully you have, and you might need something for under your head. So it's not filled all the way up, it's a bit squishy. And even if it's filled up all the way, that's okay. It'll be fine. And if you don't have one, that's fine. You can use a blanket or a block or something else. So you're gonna be on, I'm on my left side. Ball comes between the knees. Don't, no. Ball comes between the knees and so I'm sitting in a chair, right? Right angle, hip to knee, knee to ankle. I'm going to think about keeping my top knee straight over top of my bottom knee. So it's not going to travel forward, back, up, down. It's going to stay almost like there's, a pin holding my knees and the ball together. So we're working on internal rotation. You're going to keep that knee or that foot. So my whole leg is in a right angle. I'm not bringing my heel to my bum, right? I'm keeping my foot away like I'm sitting in a chair. I'm rotating that upper hip, but I'm not doing anything with my pelvis, as little as possible, right? So my hip is stacked over my bottom hip. Pelvis is quiet. Knees stay in line with each other. Foot comes up and then down. Now I want you to relax the upper body as you do this. Inhale to come up, exhale down. You're going to start to feel a lot of stuff happening in that hip. And just notice how high up that outside ankle can come, that foot can come. And it's not about really how high you can get it. It's about all those other pieces working. So keeping the knees in line with each other. Pelvis is quiet. Relax the upper body, soften the upper body. Breathe. And let this leg do this work, this upper leg and these outer hip muscles. Okay, keep going. Melt your shoulder blades. Let them just be soft. Breathe. Right, so you're not bringing the heel to the bum. You're keeping it away. So you should be feeling a lot happening in here now. Stay connected to your breath. Right. Keep letting that rotation work. Internal rotation, an important part of hip function and legs being happy. Breathe in, breathe out through the nose, in through the nose. A couple more. Great. Let that go. I'm just going to shake it out. Come onto your back for a moment. Maybe extend the legs out and notice how that feels. So hopefully you feel like a change or something happened in that rate. I'm flipping over to the other side so you can see me. We're just going to go to the other side. I'm going to pull my pants up. So coming on to the other side. Something under the head if you need it. Ball between the knees. Okay, make sure that the knees are stacked over top of each other and the hips, pelvis isn't rolled forward or back. Hips are stacked on top of each other. And you're in that 90 degrees like you're sitting in a chair. Okay, the heel doesn't come to the bum, towards the bum. So rotating internally into that top leg. Knees stay stacked. So I'm not letting my top knee travel. So I'm not doing anything like that. I'm letting the knees stay stacked right on top of each other. And I'm just encouraging that internal rotation with that leg. Okay, relax through the upper body, collarbones, shoulder blades. Slow and controlled with that leg. Breathe in, breathe out. And you might notice a big difference one side to the other. Just work with what's available. So if it's stuck on one side, just keep working with that range of motion. It's teaching that part how to be in relation to the other part. So leg bone in the pelvis, an internal rotation. Might be that it got shut off somehow, that line in the nervous system, brain connection to this movement, to this part. We just need to wake it up, teach it how to move. All right, one more. And let that go. And then come onto your back. And notice what you notice. It might feel really different in the hips. Okay, we're gonna go back to the first side. So we're doing a lot of back and forth, but we have to do something else. Let me see. Do we need the ball? No, we don't need the ball. We're done with the ball, but we're gonna come back into that 90 degrees with the pelvis and the hips in seated. Okay, we're only gonna do a few per side and then a few on this side, a few on the other side. You're going to lift that top leg just like we did, but now we don't have the ball. Keeping it in this internal rotation with the foot and the leg in this position. you're just going to lift the leg towards the ceiling. I'm not turning it. I'm not going into external rotation or center. I'm keeping it in internal rotation, and I'm moving my top knee away from my bottom knee, and I'm bringing it back. Touch that bottom knee, lift that leg back up. You're going to feel this in the outer hip. It should be like on fire, and you'll feel it on the upper hip too. So you're still keeping the internal rotation in that leg, but you're lifting, lowering. The bottom leg is supporting you. Lift, lower, breathe. One more. Right, so, okay, and then come back down, and that hopefully has your legs on fire. Let's go to the other side. This is so good for your hips and your legs and keeping you mobile and moving. So if you need something under your head, bring it there. Flipped over to the other side. So you could be even up on your hand and arm if you want, doesn't matter. So we're just focusing on lower body here. 90 degrees, stacked knees, stacked pelvis. And you're going to internally rotate that top leg. I'm on the left. This is my left. Internally rotate it, hold it there. And then I'm just going to lift my knee away from my other knee. Push into this bottom leg. You don't have to because it's going to do that for you. Bring it back down, slow and controlled. Keeping it in internal rotation, but I'm not going backwards or forwards, and I'm not doing anything with my knee. Keeping my whole leg in internal rotation. Touch the bottom knee, lift that top knee. Touch. My pelvis isn't rolling, so I'm not doing any of that. This is just the leg moving with the internal rotation. Okay. Breathe. And just one more. Touch, and then let that go. And then come back onto your back again, or you can come up to seated. You can lay on your belly if you want. Take a moment just to notice what you notice, how things are feeling. So we hit quite a lot of the body today. Hopefully you feel a difference, upper, lower, yeah, great. So come to that place that's comfortable for you for relaxation, wherever it is you want to be. Seated, standing. You could do this in standing too if you wanted. Seated, on your back, on your belly. Whatever feels good for you. And then just give yourself whatever you need for support. Make sure that you're warm. And just take a moment to notice how your physical body feels. Yay. After doing that movement, awesome. Notice what you notice here. You might notice more ease or freedom, more spaciousness, more release. Might feel like your physical body feels heavier or might feel lighter. Whatever it is, just notice what it is that is showing up now for you. Gently breathe in, gently breathe out. And allow every exhalation to let go even more. Let go any thoughts. Let go of any worries. Let go of any stress, any tension. Let go of any anxiety. Exhaling, letting go of any fear. Allow each exhalation to let the body become heavier, melted, relaxed as you come into this present moment more fully, completely. Gently breathing in, gently breathing out. Just letting go. And then just gently bringing awareness back into the body. Letting your breath become a little bit deeper. Bringing some gentle movement into the fingers, toes, feet, hands, ankles, wrists, knees, elbows, hips, shoulders, into the whole body as you take a deeper breath in. Just noticing as you move how you feel now. Making your way up to a comfortable upright position when you're ready. And then just extending the arms out, inhaling all the positive thoughts and energies for this day, bringing them to heart center. Just taking a moment in gratitude for this time that you've given yourselves today to look after your body, mind, and spirit. And in gratitude to each of you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. Have a good day, everybody.